Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We are back, and it is two of the most informed teams in Europe's top five leagues who clash in the Europa League playoffs tonight. Manchester United welcome Barcelona to Old Trafford for the first time in under 4 years as they battle it out for a place in the last 16 of the Europa League. The first leg offered an exciting matchup as it ended 2-2 and all square after 90 minutes at the new camp. Two United goals through Rashford and a Koundé own goal cancelled out Alonso's opener for Barcelona, but a cross from Rafinha that was failed to be dealt with meant that this tie finished all square and there is still unfinished business left come this second leg. It is Ten Hag versus Xavi tonight. Both have 8 titles as managers, but if this Europa League was to be won, it would be their biggest managerial achievement to date. United already have one Europa League in their trophy cabinet from the Jose Mourinho days back in the 2016-2017 season. But for Barcelona, this is only their second Europa League run after last season having it cut short at the quarter-final stage after being beaten by eventual winners Eintracht Frankfurt. As two of the biggest clubs in the world clash, a place to proceed in the Europa League is at stake. Who will come out on top at the Theatre of Dreams? It's a lively game. It's a lively atmosphere. I've been watching the build-up on the TV, and Old Trafford is absolutely rocking for tonight's game. So it should be a real, exciting match to watch. I made myself a bit higher. There we go. But it's the second leg. The first leg did end 2-2 at the new camp. All goals coming in the second half. There we go, that looks better. Sorting the camera out. But kickoff is just under 7 minutes away, so I will go through the two teams. Now they are on screen, but I'll go through them in a little bit more detail for you guys watching at home. So in net for Manchester United is David De Gea. He has won 2 Europa League titles, one with Manchester United. He was on the bench for the majority of the games in that run, but he also won it with Atletico Madrid back in the 09-10 season. He played Liverpool in the semi-final, which they won 2-2 on away goals after the 2 legs, and also played Fulham in the final, where they won 2-1 in extra time. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is kept in at right back after starting the first leg. Dalot drops to the bench. Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez will be playing as the two centre-halves, with Luke Shaw being put back to left back, with the only change in the entire squad from that first leg coming with Tyrell Malacia dropping to the bench, Martinez coming in, and Luke Shaw being put back to his natural position of left back. Holding midfield is going to be Casemiro, joined for around 60 million in the summer, formerly of Real Madrid. He has played Barcelona 20 times previously, winning 9 times and losing 6. He'll be joined in the midfield by Fred, who joined back in July of 2018, and captain Bruno Fernandes, with Jadon Sancho who's making a return to Manchester United on the right. He has scored once in the Europa League so far this season. He also played 82 minutes in the reverse fixture. Marcus Rashford, he's been on absolute fire for Manchester United. He's actually Manchester United's leading goal scorer in the Europa League overall, where he has scored 11 Europa League goals in 32 appearances. And up front will be Wout Weghorst, 6'6" Dutchman. He's yet to score in the Premier League, but his work off the ball has been absolutely fantastic for Manchester United. And he has got the one goal for them, and that was in the Carabao Cup semi-final, first leg against Nottingham Forest. But he'll be hoping to add more goals to his game alongside the work he does up front, and that is the lineup for Manchester United. Their bench is Tom Heaton, Diogo Dalot, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Tyrell Malacia, Scott McTominay, Kobe Mainoo, Marcel Sabitzer, Alejandro Garnacho, Anthony Facundo Pelestri, and Anthony Alanga as well joins the bench. It's a stacked bench for Manchester United. Lots of players on there, lots of numbers. Debatable how much quality is on that bench overall. Obviously, you've got Sabitzer, who's been doing well on loan since joining from Bayern Munich. Garnacho is a handful when he comes on, the 18-year-old. And Anthony, the £86 million signing in the summer, also plays on the bench for tonight's game. He'll be able to come on and make a difference. Barcelona's side, ter Stegen is in net. There is a change to the back four from last week's first leg. Jules Koundé is kept at right back, and Ronald Araujo is also kept at centre back. But there is two changes on the left-hand side of the defence, with Andres Christensen replacing Marcos Alonso, who scored the opening goal in the 2-2 draw last week, and Alejandro Balde comes in and replaces experienced Jordi Alba at left back. Holding midfield, the one and only Sergio Busquets. He's been at the club now since July of 2005. He's now 34 years of age, 708th appearance for the club. He's unbelievable. He's third in their all-time leading appearance makers. Second is Xavi, the manager, who made 767. Also in midfield is Frenkie de Jong, massively linked to Manchester United in the summer. Didn't quite materialise in the way you would have wanted it to. He ended up staying at Barcelona, and he's having a fantastic season so far, scoring 2 goals in the league. Frank Kessie joins him in midfield, joining the summer from AC Milan, where he won the league last season. On the right is going to be Sergio Roberto, who's replaced Gavi, who usually plays in a wide area. Sergio Roberto did score once and assisted at the weekend against Cadiz in their 2-0 victory. Rafinha will play off the left, scoring 4 goals and getting 4 assists in the league this season. And the main man, the main threat, Robert Lewandowski, joined in the summer for £42.5 million, is in to make his 30th appearance of the season or competitions, and is looking to add to his 24 goals that he's already accounted at so far this season. So that is 4 changes from last week's starting 11, with Pedri out injured and Gavi missing this out due to a yellow card suspension. But at the bench, they've got Iñaki Pina, Arnau Tenas as the 2 goalkeepers, Eric Garcia, Jordi Alba, Marcos Alonso, Marc Casado, Pablo Torre, Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres returns to Manchester, joined in January last year for £48 million, forming Manchester City. We're going to be able to come back to Manchester and haunt his rivals, Manchester United. You'll have to wait and see, because he does start on the bench, as we've got the 2 captains, Sergio Busquets and Bruno Fernandes. In the middle, referee for tonight's game is Clément Turpin, the Frenchman. He officiated 3 games at the World Cup, and he's given 4 red cards in 12 Ligue 1 games so far this season, so he's not shy to give a red card. We'll have to see if we get any for tonight's game. But it's a 4-3-3 for Barcelona. Probably be more of a 4-2-3-1 for Manchester United, with Fred and Sergio Busquets. Sergio Busquets, it's just because he's on my screen. Fred and Casemiro in the 2 holding midfield positions. It's a massive game. It's almost like a Champions League tie, the size of this match. It's in front of a packed out ground. 74,000+ people in the ground for tonight's game. Obviously, Manchester United have also got another big game to look forward to as well. At the weekend, League Cup final against Newcastle. Who will make the difference? So many stars in both starting 11s. Got Ronaldo on fire. What is going on with me? Rashford on fire for Manchester United. And then obviously got Robert Lewandowski, who's just always scoring all the goals. As we get ready for kick-off at Old Trafford. 2-2 from the first leg at the new camp. What score will it end at Old Trafford? Waiting for the referee's whistle. There's a slight delay to kick off here. And the referee blows the whistle for the start of the second leg. United kick off, kicking left to right. Barcelona right to left. Long ball up towards Weghorst, won by De Jong. It's now in the left back area to Balde, who meets it inside to Busquets. Back to Christensen, who has to clear down the left flank with his left foot. Always finds Varane on the halfway line. who sends it back forward towards Weghorst, wins the header the first time, bundled over the second time, fairly, says the referee. And Barcelona back in possession in their own 18-yard box. Christensen switching the ball out to the right-hand side to Jules Koundé, the right back. Fantastic ball from the centre half. And they're into the Manchester United half now with Jules Koundé. Down the right-hand side it goes to Kessie. Goes back to Koundé, tackled by Marcus Rashford, and it will be a throw-in for Barcelona, just under a minute in. The first goal last week did come in the 50th minute, and then United got two back in quick succession in the 52nd minute and the 59th. Here's Lewandowski, back to goal, plays it back to Sergio Busquets, who returns to the starting 11, missed the first leg, and also missed their last league game, as the ball is having to be kicked out of play here as Koundé stayed down. Caught late by Luke Shaw on the Barcelona right flank. Yeah, just stepped on top of his foot there. It'd be a nasty one for Koundé, number 23, against Luke Shaw, who's also number 23. Yeah, just got the foot of Shaw planted onto his. Be a sore one. Ten Hag with a bright smile there, the Dutchman. An age gap of 10 years between these two. Ten Hag, 53, turned 53 3 weeks ago now, and Xavi turning 43 in late January. As Koundé's back up, and Martinez will kick the ball back to Barcelona as they kicked it out to help their man. Good sportsmanship there from the Red Devils. It's gone all the way back to Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Just looking back at his Germany stats, because the first thing I think of with ter Stegen is how good of a goalkeeper he is, but obviously coming through a generation with Manuel Neuer means his international caps were limited. He's made 30 German appearances, as Bruno Fernandes has been found on the right hand side in the box, all three. He's got to score, big save, and that's why he's the top keeper. Ter Stegen blocks the Fernandes shot. He really should have scored. Sancho on the edge of the box, lays it back to Casemiro, fancies a shot left-footed. I think he might have come off Weghorst there, and forward towards Lewandowski, who's battling with Varane, and the Frenchman comes out on top, finds Rashford, battling with Kessie. Rashford comes out on top, tries to take on Koundé, can't get beyond the French right-back. He's still in on the far left-hand side. He goes inside here to Casemiro, ball in the box, looking towards Fernandes, it runs all the way through. But the first big chance of the match falls to Bruno Fernandes, and ter Stegen, proving how good of a goalkeeper he is. The ball was won by Casemiro, and Fernandes on the right-hand side got away. Alejandro Balde, the left-back, had got forward, caught out of position. Fernandes had loads of time to try and find the back of the net, but eventually hit it pretty much square on it to Stegen, and he was able to make the save. Here's Sergio Roberto looking out left for the left-back Balde. You can get forward this time, and he does collect the ball and goes back to Frenkie de Jong. Busquets, Roberto, 1-2 with Busquets. Good play from Barcelona. Gets it out wide right to Rafinha, the former Leeds man. Cuts inside onto his left. He's allowed to shoot, and it's a little bit wild. Not too far away from the Brazilian. It'll be a goal kick for Manchester United, but both sides having a shot on at goal. The Bruno Fernandes chance was slightly better. Probably should have scored. The captain, like I was saying, ter Stegen, very unfortunate to grow up in a generation where Manuel Neuer's around. So, like I say, he only made 30 appearances for his country, ter Stegen. But alongside those 30 appearances, he's had to make 46 appearances on the bench. You know, not coming on. The understudy of Manuel Neuer. But there, 3 minutes in, he's showing exactly why he is an unbelievable goalkeeper and why he's been at Barcelona since 2014 and he's not been replaced. Busquets cuts out the Wan-Bissaka pass. Falls to Christensen in the Barcelona half. He's going to be pressed by Bruno Fernandes, and he's been forced back to the German in the Barcelona goal. Goes to Christensen in the 18-yard box. Turns away from Fernandes. Gets out to the left-back Balde. Good press from United, and it's been cut out the pass from Balde, but bounces off Fred back to the left-back. Very, very fortunate for the Spaniard. It's Christensen on his left foot. Has to clear it down the line. Can only find Casemiro. Wan-Bissaka inside to Fernandes on the edge of the box. He finds Rashford, takes a touch, wants to shoot. Not tripped by Busquets, says the referee. And as Barcelona clear, it comes off the referee, so he has to stop play. And the referee wags the finger at Rashford, saying he wasn't fouled on the edge of the box. I think he's caught by Busquets, but Rashford is already falling to the ground. No, I think he's played for that one. Rashford, I think that's the right decision for me by the referee. Good to see you back. Come on, Barca. Yeah, it's been a little while. Last game I did was actually Manchester United's win at Old Trafford in the Manchester derby, where they're now only 3 points behind Manchester City in the league table. They currently sit on 49 points. As we're back underway with ter Stegen finding Koundé right back. Down the line looking for Sergio Roberto. Misplaced ball. Throwing for Luke Shaw to take deep inside the Barcelona half. Luke Shaw making to play at left back tonight. He was at centre back in the first leg, before being subbed off against Leicester at the weekend. He'd gone 10 games in a row, playing every minute of every Premier League game, showing how key and vital he is to Ten Hag's plan. As Barcelona regain the ball and clear it away, giving Lewandowski something to chase. His first ever appearance at Old Trafford. But Varane cleans up, takes it away from the Polish international, who was able to bag his first World Cup goals in the winter at Qatar, scoring against Saudi Arabia and France. Poor clearance from Casemiro, picked up by Busquets, gets it forward to Frenkie de Jong, halfway inside the Manchester United half. He works himself away from the pressure of Fred. Here's Araujo, the Uruguayan centre-half, forward in Sergio Roberto, takes on the turn nicely, can't avoid the slide challenge from Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and United can find themselves on the counter-attack. Casemiro 1-2 with Fred, now worked out wide to Wan-Bissaka, who joins the attack. He's got Fernandes as an option, he's got everything to his left now, the Portuguese international, tries to go for the run inside towards Wan-Bissaka, but it's cut out by Alejandro Balde, and he wins the ball off the Portuguese international and keeps it for Barcelona. Good lively start, over 7 minutes in here at Old Trafford. The winners get to the next round of the Europa League, which is the round of 16. Here's Rafinha, just inside the United half, goes across to Frenkie de Jong, the former Ajax boy. Played under Ten Hag. Frenkie de Jong. They've worked it out wide left now to Alejandro Balde, the left back, keeping Jordi Alba out the side for tonight's game. He's been preferred over Jordi Alba for the majority of the season. Balde making 20 league appearances, and in those 20 he's made 17 starts. Oh, short ball by Christensen, looking for Lewandowski, can be brought away by Wan-Bissaka. Enters the Barcelona half, has to try and take on the Barcelona left back, and he does keep it for United, and he finds Casemiro, who gets onto it and is pushed over, and that'll be a free kick for Manchester United, pushing the back from Frank Kessie. Well won by Casemiro. Yeah, nudged in the back there by Frank Kessie. Will not be getting away with that one. An arm in the back. Casemiro goes over. Casemiro has missed 4 of the last 5 league games for Manchester United due to suspension. He missed one against Arsenal after his accumulation of yellow cards, and then he's missed the last 3 with a red card suspension after being sent off against Crystal Palace. But he's back for the League Cup final at the weekend, and he's been able to feature in the Europa League against Barcelona. Bruno Fernandes has stood over it alongside Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw steps over it and leaves it for Bruno Fernandes. And he crosses it into the box towards Weghorst. Header won by Araujo. It will fall to Wan-Bissaka, who's found himself on the left-hand side. Finds Casemiro. Inside to Jadon Sancho. Finds Wan-Bissaka in the left wing position. He's going to try to take on Sergio Busquets, and he does do so with a left-footed cross. A little bit too heavy for anyone to get on the end of, and it'll be a goal kick for Barcelona. Good positive play though for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's become a new player since the World Cup, since the return of league action in club football. Had a great run in the side. He made 7 starts in a row in the Premier League from game week 17 to game week 22, while Diogo Dalot was injured. Alejandro Balde, the left-back, gets beyond Bruno Fernandes and away from Fred. What a run from the youngster. He keeps going. He's running at the United goal, and he's brought down from behind by Fred. And it's a well-won free kick in a positive area for Barcelona. He looks a player. Alejandro Balde, the left-back. He's only 19 years of age, born in October of 2003. He's set to sign a new contract at the club. And you can clearly see why they want to keep him at the club. Unbelievable player. Joined at the age of 8 in 2011. And he was just pushed in the back there by Fred. But he's clearly got pace, the full-back. And just on the left-hand side here, not quite a shooting opportunity for Barcelona. It's quite the way out, but it's a great chance to get across in the box here. Of course, away goals no longer stand for what they used to anymore in European competitions, so it's not like they need to score 2 goals or anything like that to force extra time. Rafinha with the left foot is stood over it, along with Frankie de Jong, who's given Barcelona the right-footed option. It's a high line for Manchester United, just on the edge of the 18-yard box. Rafinha whips a ball in, dealt with by Casemiro, who gets it to Sancho on the edge, finds Fred, looks for Jadon Sancho on the right, overhit from the Brazilian, and it'll be a throw in for Barcelona, just inside the United half. Taken quickly and thrown back to Frank Kessie, who's the last man back for Barcelona. Laid off to Araujo as Barcelona return to their usual positions with Christensen at the back, going to Araujo, the centre half. This is his 50th appearance under Xavi for the centre back. In those 49 previous appearances, he's yet to be sent off, the Uruguayan. Hopefully I don't jinx him there for this game at Old Trafford, as they've been forced back here to Marc-Andre ter Stegen, 6'2" German goalkeeper. Did feature and play 180 minutes in the 2 games that these two sides previously played against each other when they were put against each other in Europe. That was in the 2018-2019 season, in the quarter-final stage. Barcelona did go through in the end. First leg was at Old Trafford. It was a 1-0 win for Barcelona, Luke Shaw own goal. And then the second leg was a win for for Barcelona against Manchester United, where they won 3-0. Sergio Roberto being fed. Whoa! Sergio Roberto was being thread through there on the right hand side of the box, and he realised he wasn't going to quite get there, and lunged into a tackle on Lisandro Martinez, and he committed the foul on the Argentine. He was won back there by Roberto off Casemiro on the edge of the box, and then just slightly timed his challenge late there on Martinez, and it's a free kick for Manchester United. This is also the 15th meeting between the two sides. They have met in 2 Champions League finals, quite recently as well, in 2008 and 2011. Barcelona coming out victorious in both under Pep Guardiola. Here's Marcus Rashford on the left, brings it down beautifully, one-on-one with Jules Koundé. Can he get beyond the right back? He can, on the byline. Oh, it's Busquets who has to come round to cover. Lunges in with a side challenge and concedes the corner. Rashford is just so dangerous this season, and Busquets having to help his full-back out to stop Rashford bearing down further on goal. Because we know Rashford's on an unbelievable run this season. He's got 24 goals in all competitions so far this season. As Luke Shaw plays the corner short to Fred. Back out to Luke Shaw. Goes to Fred once again. He'll cross the ball towards the near post, headed away by Lewandowski. And it'll be chased back by Jadon Sancho, who's furthest back in an outfield position for Manchester United. He's going to allow players to get back in position, then scoops it out wide left to Luke Shaw. Brings it inside to Rashford on the edge of the box. Tries to go around the outside of Koundé, but he's tackled by the Frenchman, and Koundé gets it forward to Lewandowski. Back to goal. Has to hold it up, the Polish international. And he's being forced all the way back towards his 18-yard box, where he gets it to Araujo, who lifts it to Koundé on the right-hand side in a right-wing position. His ball forward, cut out by Casemiro. Helped on now by Lewandowski to Busquets. Trying to look for Roberto, but Fernandes comes back and helps his team regain the ball with getting it back to David De Gea, who slams the ball forward. And it'll be collected by ter Stegen in the Barcelona 18-yard box, and it'll be restarted with Andres Christensen. Only ever beat Manchester United once in 7 games against the Reds, and that was back in the 2017-18 season for Chelsea. De Jong brings it forward out of defence, gets it beyond Bruno Fernandes and finds Frank Kessie in midfield. We're now in the Manchester United half. We're on the right-hand side with Rafinha. Tries to play it through to Kessie in the box, gets it back out to Koundé. Great build-up play for Barcelona. The cross goes in. Header won by Varane. Flicks it behind him, and it'll be picked up by Balde, who's dragged to the ground. Penalty kick from Barcelona, conceded by the Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes. He protests his innocence. The left-back Balde's had an unbelievable start to the game, getting forward, and he's won his side a penalty kick. 15 minutes in, From first glances, for me, it looks like a penalty. We'll have to see replays. Just pulls the arm of the left back. It's soft, but he had a good grab of that left arm. And Baldé's gone down. I can't see this being overturned, to be completely honest. Just trying to hunt the ball down, Bruno Fernandes. A bit of an attacker's challenge, really. Quite silly to go in like that in the 18-yard box. But the referee's pretty certain that that's a penalty kick. And like I say, I can't see that being overturned. United players still surround the referee, but I don't think he'll change his mind. And I can't see VAR overturning the decision. You know, there's not much contact, but he does get a good grab of that left arm. Baldé goes down, and he wins his side a penalty. Bruno Fernandes will possibly make up for the penalty mistake and giving away the penalty, being an attacker. Obviously, he can supply goals and assists the other end of the pitch. 3 minutes in, he could have had a goal himself, but he was saved by Ter Stegen. He now leaves David De Gea one-on-one with Robert Lewandowski. It's his second appearance against Manchester United. He didn't score in the first leg. He'll want to score in the second leg. He got 5 goals in 5 Champions League appearances at the start of the season before they crashed out into the Europa League. This would be goal number 25 in all competitions for the Polish international. 17 minutes on the clock. It's Robert Lewandowski. It's David De Gea to give Barcelona the lead in this Europa League tie. The referee blows the whistle. Lewandowski for Barcelona runs up to it. And it's dispatched by Lewandowski. It's a strong hand from David De Gea, but he couldn't keep it out. Barcelona lead in Manchester through a penalty from Robert Lewandowski, won by Alejandro Balde after being dragged to the ground by Bruno Fernandes. It's a very fortunate goal for Lewandowski because it wasn't a great penalty. He stuttered, and he stuttered once more. And once he eventually got his shots away, it lacked conviction. And for David De Gea getting a strong right hand to it, but just couldn't quite push it beyond the post. He instead pushed it onto the inside of the post and in. Very unfortunate for David De Gea. Robert Lewandowski will definitely think of himself as fortunate for that going in, but he won't mind. He bags himself his first goal in this Europa League playoff tie. It's his 25th of the season. And just around 18 and a half minutes in, it's Manchester United 0, Barcelona 1, 3-2 on aggregate. Sancho brings it forward for Manchester United. Ball inside to Luke Shaw. He's been brought down by Araujo, but the referee sees it as Luke Shaw running into the centre-back, so nothing will be given. I don't think the referee will be giving much to either side, to be honest, in terms of little fouls like that. I think this referee only really cares about the big decisions. Like I said before the game, talking about the referee, he has given 4 red cards in 12 French League matches this season, so he does like the spotlight, clearly. And he's given a big decision there, the French international referee. But I don't think he should be panic stations yet for Manchester United. Yes, Barcelona have had more of the possession, but they did have a big chance 3 minutes in, cutting through Barcelona's left-hand side. So the chances are there for United. It's just when they get them, they need to take them. Unlike Bruno Fernandes, who missed his big chance 3 minutes in, then gave away a penalty in the 17th minute. It is soft, but I think it's just a silly challenge. I think you're asking for the referee to make a decision when you pull a player down like that in the box. But like I say, Lewandowski just about dispatches it into the top right corner of the goal. De Gea had dived the right way and got a hand to it, but just couldn't keep it out. Araujo stayed down because as Luke Shaw was getting forward, then he was really bursting forward and kind of ran into Ronald Araujo. And he stayed down currently. Let's see if he'll be able to continue. I've got cover on the bench, but I think he's back up on his feet, the Uruguayan, and I think he'll be able to continue. Barcelona are on a great run as well in all competitions. They currently are 13 games unbeaten in all competitions. That's the second longest run in Europe. Manchester United have only lost 2 of their last 11 European games at Old Trafford, winning 6 of those 12, drawing 3, and obviously losing 2. But those 2 defeats have come to Spanish sides. You might remember last season when they were knocked out by Atletico Madrid at Old Trafford, and then their only loss so far in the Europa League came at home to Real Sociedad 1-0 after a controversial penalty. So when they do lose Old Trafford in Europe, it is usually against a Spanish side, as Lewandowski's brought down on the edge of the box, but I think it was more of I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just legs colliding together. It was nothing. There was no foul or no trip. There's United trying to play out the back with Fred, Casemiro, Fred, back to Wan-Bissaka in the right back area, clears it quite hurriedly with the left foot, but he does find Wout Weghorst, who goes down on the challenge of Araujo, and that'll be given as a free kick. Well, won from the Dutchman. Not quite had his impact yet. Wout Weghorst, who did score twice in the World Cup, both in dramatic fashion, and both against Argentina, scored in the 83rd minute and then in the 101st minute. 11 minutes in the 11th minute of added on time. Ball towards Fernandes, volleyed towards goal. Easy save for ter Stegen. Didn't quite catch it there, Bruno Fernandes. Great ball, though. Really good ball from, I think that was Luke Shaw. Was it Martinez? I think it was Martinez who did the switch. But Bruno Fernandes didn't quite catch it. And here's Araujo. Long diagonal ball, looking out wide left for Barcelona, and he will find Alejandro Balde. He's got lots of room out wide here on the left. Fernandes having to meet him again, giving him flashbacks already. Roberto back into the Barcelona half with Andres Christensen. Barcelona's only loss in the league this season came to Real Madrid away, 3-1. But other than that, they've had a splendid league campaign, where they are top of the league with 59 points, 19 wins out of 22. And I think the most astonishing stat is they've only conceded 7 goals in those 22 games. Crazy defensive record here as Frank Kessie looks for Alejandro Balde on the left. It's a heavy touch. He just about keeps it in, but it's Wan-Bissaka to get across and clear out for Manchester United. But that Balde at left back is one hell of a player. He's won the penalty and he's just causing all sorts of problems for Barcelona, for Manchester United. It's been given as a United throw-in. I thought Wan-Bissaka had kicked it out, but they've won it back through Busquets, and here's Frenkie de Jong on the left-hand side. Caught out by Fernandes, and the ball will be chipped inside to Sancho. He looks forward towards Fred, just goes behind him. It can be picked up by Christensen, who goes wide right towards Koundé. He's going to miss out him, and he'll fall to Rafinha, who flicks it into Koundé. Great play from Barcelona. They've been impressive so far, Barcelona. Busquets keeps it ticking with Kessie on the halfway. It's now with de Jong. Clips it out wide right to Jules Koundé, who'll get forward from full back. He's got Rafinha making a run down the right-hand side, and he will feed the Brazilian. Martinez is going to have to come out wide to try and cover Luke Shaw, and he'll win the ball back for his side. Couldn't get beyond him there, Rafinha. Good defending from the Argentinian, who clips it forward to Fred, brings it down beautifully on the chest, and gets it into Weghorst, who holds it up and lays it back off to Fred. On the halfway line, he now switches it to the right side towards Fernandes, who just about keeps it in play. And goes inside to Fred. He lets it go for Casemiro. And now we'll just calm down a little bit with Martinez at the back on the ball for United. 24.5 minutes in. Manchester United 0, Lewandowski 1. 18th minute penalty. Fernandes caught out in midfield, but it's a foul, says Clement Turpin, the referee. Let's have a look here as he just tried to turn. Yeah, just got sandwiched by de Jong and Sergio Roberto there. Did come around and get the ball, to be fair. Arguments that was a bit of a soft free kick. And the referee's just going to have a talking to Xavi here. Clearly not happy with the giving of that free kick. I think he's been instructed by the fourth official, Jeremy Pignard, to just talk to Xavi, who has experience playing against Manchester United. Played against them 6 times in those two Champions League finals as well. As we're back underway with Fred. He's been nudged over by Christensen, and Barcelona have possession back with ter Stegen's left-footed clearance. It's really poor, and Balde tries to volley it away, but it deflects off Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It's now pinball in the Barcelona box, and it's eventually cleared by Christensen towards Lewandowski, who's drifted out to the left, and he's been bullied off the ball by Martinez. But the referee deems that as a bit too strong, and it will be a free kick for Barcelona. Ten Hag isn't happy with that. I don't think that was a free kick, to be completely honest. I think it's a little bit soft. Possibly. I think it's just about a free kick on Lewandowski there from Martinez. Throughout the games going on in the Europa League so far, Union Berlin have taken a 1-0 aggregate lead against Ajax. They're winning 1-0. All the other games are also 0-0. Monaco versus Leverkusen has also gone to penalties, as Kessie here has been found in behind. Martinez tackles him, and then a big block from the Argentine, but the free kick's been given against for Martinez there. But yeah, Monaco and Leverkusen finished 5-5 on aggregate, and it's now gone to penalties, where it looks like if Leverkusen score their next penalty, they will go through. So it looks like Leverkusen could be knocking out Monaco, which would be a big upset, I think. Sorry if you've got any buffer in there. I think we're back. Yeah, I think we're back. Apologies for the buffer in there. Yeah, we are back. I apologise for that. As we are currently in the Barcelona half, Lewandowski not quite being able to keep the ball on the pitch on the left-hand side there. As Aaron Wan-Bissaka throws it into Sancho, turns away towards his goal now to keep possession from Manchester United and gives it to Lisandro Martinez, who looks for a ball in behind towards Rashford in the box, but it's caught by Marc-Andre ter Stegen. But Bayer Leverkusen have knocked out Monaco 5-5 in aggregate, 5-3 on penalties. As De Jong is fouled there in the Barcelona midfield. That'll be a free kick for Barcelona in their own half. It's gone back to the goalkeeper, ter Stegen. Long ball. Look for Lewandowski, and he nods it inside towards Roberto, but it will be cut out by Martinez. And De Gea clears first time up towards Weghorst, header won by Busquets. Lewandowski will try and take it in his stride, but it's a bit behind him, and Casemiro looks to send a diagonal switch towards Bruno Fernandes, just behind the Portuguese international. And that'll be a throw-in for Barcelona. It's under half an hour in. It's still Manchester United 0, Barcelona 1-3 to an aggregate to Xavi's side, who has got the most appearances for Barcelona in the Champions League. He made 157 appearances in the competition for the club. It's Kessie. Can't quite avoid the throw-in, and it's a United throw-in the Barcelona half. Fernandes is currently taking it, and he throws it towards Weghorst in the final third, towards the corner flag now, back to goal. Tries to kick it off Christensen, but it falls to Fred, and then he's poked, and the ball's poked from underneath, from in between his legs by Frank Kessie to concede the throw-in. Can Manchester United score before half-time? Thrown to Fred, ball in, punched by ter Stegen, had time to catch it, opted for the punch, and then Casemiro's heavy touch gives it away, and Frenkie de Jong is nearly sent away, but it's Martinez again to cover and get the ball for United. That could have been dangerous for Frenkie de Jong. It goes back to David De Gea, half an hour played. De Gea clips it towards Luke Shaw at left back. Loses out to Jules Koundé. Luke Shaw, left back. fourth most expensive defender at the time of when he was bought for £30 million in July of 2014. And he's now taking the throw-in. It's been worked back to David De Gea. Got his options. He goes to Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the right-back area for Manchester United. Goes back to David De Gea. Across it goes to Martinez. Not really being pressed so far as he strides forward in the United half. Sends the ball forward and finds Jadon Sancho. Great find, but he can't find his own intended target of Luke Shaw. Barcelona can bring it away, but it's given away to Rafael Varane on the halfway line. It's now Wan-Bissaka. Goes back to Varane. It's now Bruno Fernandes on the right-hand side. Goes inside to Fred. Plenty of Barcelona players behind the ball as Casemiro tries to send away Sancho in the box. It's well cut out by Sergio Busquets. Varane tries to keep it alive. He loses out to Roberto. Only as far as Fernandes, who wins it back for his side. Now Varane. Ball down the right channel looking for Weghorst, and he does find the Dutchman. 1-on-1 with Christensen. Looks to find a ball inside, blocked by the Danish international, but he goes back to Weghorst, who then gets the ball to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. United keep possession. Dinked inside by Fernandes to Martinez. Takes it in his path well and works it to the left to Luke Shaw. Rashford looks in behind for Weghorst. Good thinking, but not quite on the same wavelength there. Marcus Rashford and Wout Weghorst. Not quite been as lively as what we would have hoped for Marcus Rashford. Christensen brings it forward. Looking for the left back, Balde on the halfway line, but it's just a bit too heavy there. And we've been amazing in the league. Barcelona haven't been, or wasn't as amazing. In the Champions League, they crashed out of their group, finishing third place on 7 points. Losing twice to Bayern Munich and away from against Inter Milan. And failed to keep any clean sheets, and that was the problem for Barcelona. They couldn't quite keep the back door shut. Busquets just about keeps away from Fred in the Barcelona half. Balde at left back. Goes across to his full-back partner, Jules Koundé. The French international who featured heavily for France in the World Cup. Tries to get the return there off Rafinha. Comes off Luke Shaw, throwing for Leeds. Wow, for Barcelona. That's me thinking about Leeds and Rafinha, where he spent 2 years of his career. Had a decent record as well. Did well last season. Got 11 goals in 35 Premier League appearances, including that one on the last day against Brentford to keep them up. And Rafinha also featured at the World Cup, but failed to score or assist in the 5 games he played in Qatar. Koundé gets down the right-hand side, gets beyond Rashford. Can't get away from the slide challenge of Casemiro, who had just pulled over to left back there to help his side defensively. Busquets, Koundé inside looking for Rafinha. Poor touch, can be won by Casemiro. Fred forward to Sancho. He sees the run of Bruno Fernandes on the right. He's going to try and feed it through to the former Sporting Lisbon man, but it's beaten in a rally grace with Frenkie de Jong. Well, one back from the Dutchman there. Christensen on the ball. Does have 2 goals in the Europa League, but they both came for Borussia Mönchengladbach when he spent time in Germany on loan. Whilst he was at Chelsea, De Jong gives it away Frenkie de Jong gives it away and gives it to Marcus Rashford as United look to switch the tables here and get a goal on Barcelona. Aaron Wan-Bissaka from right back. He's running at the box. He gets a cross in. It's a dangerous one. It goes all the way through to Bruno Fernandes on the opposite side. Fernandes to the edge of the box to Sancho. Lays it off to Casemiro. Can't quite shoot. So gets it to Wan-Bissaka. Tries to play through to Fred. Comes back to Wan-Bissaka off Balde. Sancho works it to the right to Fred. First time ball. Oh, it nearly loops over to Stegen. It was a right-footed ball. Don't think it was a shot, but it nearly turned into a shot with a goal. Just hit the roof of the net, unfortunately, for Manchester United. Well worked on the edge of the box. But Fred's cross just wasn't quite good enough. Ten minutes before the break. Still Manchester United 0. Barcelona 1. Sergio Roberto just about releases it back to ter Stegen, despite being pressured by Wout Weghorst, who will press ter Stegen, but can't stop him from playing the pass to the left back, Alejandro Balde. He's got Wan-Bissaka for company and gets away from the full back. Not for long, but his tackle, Wan-Bissaka, his kick of the ball is going straight to Frank Kessie on the right hand side, and Barcelona will attack. Rafinha on the overlap is Koundé, gets it to him. It's a wild cross towards the far post. It can be kept alive by Sergio Roberto. Tackled by Fred. Only as far as Balde for Barcelona, who kicks it out for a throw-in. Couldn't quite get it back to his teammate in Frenkie de Jong. Aaron Wan-Bissaka to take the throw-in. Sancho, who can't quite let it back off to the right back. Roberto gets forward to Lewandowski. Varane wins the header on as far as Busquets, who can't beat it away from Casemiro, who sends a flying ball to the left-hand side to Rashford, who will take it under his control in the Barcelona half. One-on-one with Jules Koundé. Trying to cut onto his right foot. Gets away from... tries to get away from Araujo, but he's tackled strongly by the Uruguayan. And the ball will trickle all the way down back to Lisandro Martinez. The Argentine international on the ball, where he won 2 league titles at Ajax back-to-back. Ball inside looking for Casemiro, given away by Sancho. Rafinha inside to Lewandowski, tries to go back towards Kessie, picked up by Luke Shaw and laid off to Sancho. Ball inside looking for Weghorst, picked up by Christensen. Araujo has to clear, and does do so. Only as far as Varane, who works it to Wan-Bissaka, who has to run back for the ball towards his own goal. Does release it forward to Fred, who goes inside to Varane, and it just about gets to the former Real Madrid man. It's now Martinez. Back to De Gea, well kept by Manchester United. Ball from Casemiro, really poor, nowhere near Wan-Bissaka, and can be picked up by Balde, who will go back to goalkeeper ter Stegen. It's now Christensen. They've only won once in the previous 5 games at Old Trafford, Barcelona. There are only 5 that they've met. The only 5 games they've played at Old Trafford. Lewandowski on the halfway line. Slows it down and allows Balde to get forward from left back. Slows the tempo of the game down. Goes back to Frenkie de Jong. He's alongside his 2 centre-halves. And goes to one of them, and that's Araujo. Across to Christensen, just inside the Barcelona half, as Christensen will bring it forward. Look for the option. Goes to the left to Frank Kessie. Just about keeps it in. And keeps it alive on the halfway line. Well kept by the Ivorian, who gets the ball wide right towards Jules Koundé. Just about the right amount of power on the pass. And Koundé pulls it back to Rafinha on the edge of the box. Completes a 1-2 Roberto and strikes first time. It's a wild strike. Miles wide and high from Rafinha, but Barcelona definitely been the better side so far in this first half, personally. They've definitely kept the ball better anyway. They've looked more calm and more of a threat when they've had the ball. Casemiro clears first time down the right channel. Weghorst will give chase, but De Jong will get there. And he's being forced back to his goalkeeper as the ball's going to cross to ter Stegen. He takes a touch and clears before Weghorst can get in front of it. And it's found Kessie, goes down. And that's going to be a free kick for Barcelona. I thought that one was a bit soft as well there. Don't think that's a foul for me. Very soft. Ten Hag will not be happy with this first half performance from Manchester United. And since the start of the 2019-2020 season, Lewandowski scored 38 goals in 32 major European competition appearances, more than any other player during that period. You can now add to that, it's now 39 goals in 32 competitive European appearances. Ter Stegen. Big launch up the field. Luke Shaw has to win the header, but he'll only drop as far as Sergio Roberto. Balde. De Jong. Across it goes to Rafinha on the edge of the box. Pokes it through to Lewandowski. Back to goal. Plays it to right back Koundé. Not got many options. United defending well. Just find Busquets. De Jong in Manchester United half towards the centre circle. Christensen. Ball forward to Roberto. Then finds Kessie. Out wide it goes to Balde. The left back who won the penalty. Finds Roberto in the box. Tries to slip it through towards Lewandowski. Ball still alive for Barcelona. They force Lewandowski on the edge of the box. Will he fancy pulling the trigger? He'll lay it off instead to Koundé. Who then puts the cross in. Header won by Wan-Bissaka. Collected by Weghorst. Can't quite get it out wide right to Fernandes. Won back by Kessie. Who's been pulled like no man's business from Val Weghorst. And that will be a free kick to Barcelona. Rightly given from the ref. Weghorst just was not letting go for me there. Roma have turned around their disadvantage. They were 1-0 down after being beaten by RB Salzburg in the first leg away from home. But two quick-fire goals from Belotti and Dybala has made it Roma 2, Salzburg 0, 2-1 on aggregate. Weghorst is trying to, plead his innocence there, but he just pulled down Kessie. You can't do that on the edge of the box. Two poor fouls given away from attacking plays for United. Barcelona have only lost 3 times away from home in all competitions this season. 16 games they played away from home. Beaten by Real Madrid 3-1, by Munich 2-0 and Inter Milan 1-0. They were back in September and October. De Jong crosses it from the free kick. Nearly goes all the way through. Had to be flipped behind by Casemiro. Just over 2 minutes left of this second half. Of this first half before we get half time and then we'll hit the second. Casemiro has to flip behind. Could have let that go. He didn't have anyone near him from the free kick. But he's rewarded Barcelona a corner. Rafinha works it short with De Jong and goes all the way to the left to Balde. It's quite deep for the left back. He puts a cross in, goes all the way through to Fernandes, who wins the header. Ball will drop as far as Araujo, who loops it in the sky. Christensen will try and win the header on Varane, can't quite do so. Now falls to Fred in the midfield. Forward ball to Sancho. Met by the tackle of Kessie. And Roberto tries to bring it away, but it's well dealt with by Lisandro Martinez. It's cleared. Only finds Busquets for Barcelona. And then back to Stegen. Barcelona have won 9 of the last 10 games in all competitions. All conceding 4 goals. 2 of them came against Manchester United as well. It shows that they don't concede many goals. Christensen just inside the Barcelona half as he brings it forward. Clips a ball over the top towards absolutely nobody. Lewandowski was half there, but he wasn't quite making the run that Christensen wanted. And as we're nearly at half time, it is Manchester United 0, Barcelona 1, 3-2 to Barcelona on aggregate. Martinez. De Gea, misplaced ball, Roberto picks it up. Martinez has to try and challenge, Casemiro slides in, Kessie with the shot, it's blocked. And Kessie ends up fouling Luke Shaw as he goes for the overhead kick and kicks Luke Shaw. And Manchester United have got away with that big time, and more importantly, David De Gea's got away with it. Really got away with it. Martinez gave De Gea the ball and he tried a first time pass. I don't even know who on earth he's looking for there. No one's there in the area who's passing it to. Roberto tried to get the shot away, but it was Casemiro who blocked, and then Kessie had a bite of the cherry as well. So Roberto got away from Martinez, tackled by Casemiro, and then the shot from Kessie was blocked by Casemiro, and then conceded the foul in the end as the ball's gone long to Wout Weghorst, but there was a push in the back on De Jong. And that'll be a free kick for Barcelona in the Barcelona half. 2 minutes of added on time, so we're playing until 47. As United is still looking for that goal to get them back level on aggregate and on the night. But it's amazing what Xavi's done. Took over in the November of 2021. When they were 7th in the league, he then guided them to a second position finish, just behind Real Madrid. And now they're top of the league and one of the most dangerous teams in Europe. In 70 games under Xavi, they've won 45 of them, 64% win rate, which isn't too bad for an upcoming manager in Xavi, who won 30 trophies as a player, winning a World Cup in 4 Champions Leagues. He did face Manchester United back in 1998. You had to go that far back to see when Xavi played against Manchester United. Stegen waiting for Weghorst to get up close to him, then he'll fit the ball up. 10 minutes until half time, until we play the 2 minutes of minimum added on time. Stegen kicks out of his hands into the Manchester United half, header won by Casemiro, and that will be half time. Manchester United trail on the night and on aggregate. It is 1-0 to Barcelona, 3-2 on aggregate. It's been quite a tense game. Big chances for both sides, and one of the biggest ones for United came in the 3rd minute of the match, where Casemiro won the ball back off De Jong, got it out in behind to Bruno Fernandes on the right hand side after catching out their left back, Alejandro Balde. He had loads of time to get a shot away, but ended up hitting it right at David De Gea, right at Marc-Andre ter Stegen. And then Barcelona had their first big chance on the 15th minute, where a penalty was given to them. Alejandro Balde pulled down in the box by Bruno Fernandes, and then Lewandowski dispatched in the 18th minute. It was a fortunate goal. De Gea got a hand to it, dive into his left, but couldn't quite keep it out. And from there, it's been more possession for Barcelona. Not many chances other than that. We've had Fred hitting the roof of the net from a cross that kind of turned into a shot in the 36th minute. And then we had a big chance at the end there, right on the stroke of half-time, as David De Gea gave the ball away to Sergio Roberto, but they couldn't pounce on it. But at half-time is Barcelona 1, Manchester United 0, 3-2 in aggregate. Not stacked with chances this match, but it's definitely going to be one that hangs in the balance until the very end. Don't think either team will run away with this game. I think it'll be close until the final whistle is blown. In the other games in the Europa League, Union Berlin are 2-0 up on aggregate and 2-0 up on the night against Ajax. Union Berlin having a dream in the Europa League this season. And they're also having a good run in the league. They're 3rd place currently, joint points with 2nd and 1st in Dortmund and Bayern Munich. Roma still 2-0 up on the night against RB Salzburg, 2-1 up on aggregate. Andrea Belotti and Paulo Dybala with the goals. Stade Rennais versus Shakhtar Donetsk is 0-0 on the night, but 3-1 on aggregate to the Ukrainian side. But Stade Rennais have had 9 shots, 4 on target, 63% possession. And then the other quarter-final is the game here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Barcelona 1. And there was early quarterfinals as well, where PSV just fell short to Sevilla. They won 2-0 on the night, but defeated 3-2 on aggregate. Juventus also went through. It was 1-1 after the first leg, but an Angel Di Maria hat-trick meant that Juventus went through 4-1 on aggregate. Michelin was also beaten 4-0 at home to Sporting, meaning Sporting Lisbon go through to the knockout round, to the next round. And then Monaco were beaten on penalties 5-3 by Leverkusen after the aggregate score finished 5-5. On the night it finished 3-2. An 84th minute goal from Mbolo sending it to penalties for Monaco, but they couldn't capitalise. Same here. If it's a draw, it goes to extra time, and if it's still a draw, it does go to penalties. So all to play for still for Manchester United. Wasn't even a great penalty really from Lewandowski in the 18th minute. De Gea probably could have saved it, should have saved it, but he didn't. Could only parry it onto the post and in. But also, I think it is right to mention as well, you may have seen announced today the very sad passing of John Motson, legendary English commentator. If you're not English or you're not aware of his work, had a 50-year career with the BBC. He's unfortunately died at the age of 77. He's just an iconic voice in English football. And it's very sad to read. Obviously, when someone passes away, you get the compilations of their greatest commentary, and it's just such a distinctive voice and so good just with the way he worked. And when you see all the stories now that come out about him, it just shows how dedicated he was to his art. And it's a massive loss in football. Did retire in 2018 after covering 10 World Cups, 10 European Championships, 29 FA Cup finals. That is unbelievable. He was known as Motti as well, and if you watch Match of the Day, you're well aware of his voice and well aware of his work. It says here, it is with great sadness we announce that John Motson OBE died peacefully in his sleep today, and that was a statement from his family from this morning. Hopefully, it was no painful death. It was just in his sleep. He passed away. But, like I say, all the videos that are now coming out from his work previously in the past and his work more recently from, the 2010s, just an unbelievable voice. And, it very will be missed. And, this channel is literally called Football Commentaries. His job is my dream, and that's what I want to do. And he is, very inspiring, to look back at. Because, you don't get a career of 50 years at the BBC if you're not good at your job and you're not good at broadcasting. So, he clearly had the skills and it was very popular. And like I say, woke up this morning, it was the first thing I read. And yeah, if you go on the BBC website and you click on the headline about his death, there is John Motson, 5 great moments from iconic BBC Sport commentator. So you can have a look through his most iconic lines of commentary, if you wish. But no, very sad, very sad. A big name in football, unfortunately lost. And as this is a commentary channel, I think it's just right that we, give him the tribute on here at half-time. But we will get back underway in around 5 minutes for the second half. Like I say, Lewandowski scoring his penalty. I'm not sure when, because it says on here the 18th minute, and there it says the 16th minute. So I'll have to have a check on that. See when exactly he scored, but for Lewandowski, he will not care. The ball went in the back of the net. Yeah, 18th minute, the penalty. Wouldn't it be nice, though, extra time? Wouldn't it be nice? I would love extra time. United needs to do better. They didn't have many chances. Like I say, they had that chance in the 3rd minute through Bruno Fernandes, and then other than that, you kind of scratch your head to think of what other chances they had. Obviously, Fred hit the roof of the net, but it was a cross that turned in. That was such a bad cross. It turned into a bit of a shot. And the chance was in the 3rd minute as well. So you thought that was kind of like United laying down the platform that they want to go on and win this game and win this tie. But like I say, Fernandes got away on the right-hand side, caught the left-back out of position. He had loads of time to make his mind up, but the shot was just really poor in the end. It was pretty much right at ter Stegen, who could save strongly with his right leg. Marc-Andre ter Stegen, who was born in Mönchengladbach, where he played from 1996 to 2014, so he was there for a big chunk of his early career. Then moved on to Barcelona, where he's looking to keep his 148th clean sheet in his 359th game for the club, now at the age of 30. But these two sides do have history. Barcelona have got 6 wins in this fixture, 4 wins in a row, before the draw last week, where they obviously beat United home and away in the 2018-2019 Champions League quarter final, and then the 2 games before that with the 2 finals in the Champions League at the Stadio Olimpico and at Wembley Stadium. The first meeting, Barcelona did come out victorious 2-0, but then there was a second leg. It was the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, and United won the second leg 3-0 at Old Trafford, and Brian Robson scored twice that day to give Manchester United the win and the Cup Winners' Cup that year. But getting back underway for the second half very shortly. You've got to remember as well, Barcelona are missing big names. They've got Gavi out, who picked up another yellow card, so he missed today's game. He's been influential for Barcelona this season. Not quite got the great amount of goals. He's only scored twice so far in all competitions this season, but he's been outstanding for Barcelona and was a big part of Spain's squad in the World Cup. They're also missing Ousmane Dembele through injury. He's been missing since the start of February due to a hamstring injury. He's already missed 5 games. He's brought 8 goals and 7 assists in all competitions this season. So he's a big asset to do the missing this season. And also Pedri, who was injured in the first leg against Manchester United. He played 41 minutes before picking up a right thigh injury. He's been in amongst the goals this season as well. 7 in all competitions for Barcelona, 6 of them in the league, 3 of them in 2023. So Barcelona are missing 3 huge names. And in fairness, when researching this game, they've got a pretty light squad. They've only got 22 players, and that includes some youth and some, under 23s players who are having to come through to, make the numbers up. So it's a pretty slim squad as it is. So injuries are not what Barcelona need at the minute, that's for sure. But they're dealing with it well. They're currently at Old Trafford winning 1-0. Yes, they're a penalty, but you take goals however they come. But actually, they are unbeaten in their last 13 all competitions. They're currently 9 wins out of 10 at the minute, scoring 21 and conceding only 4. Their last loss was 18 games ago in the Champions League to Bayern Munich. It was a 3-0 loss away from home back in late October. And they have kept 8 clean sheets in their last 15 in all competitions as well. So, if you're Manchester United, you're definitely looking at the draw and thinking, we are very unlucky to have got Barcelona, who are probably the worst team you could have got. They're probably one of the best teams in Europe at the minute, in league form anyway. And as well, in fairness, Manchester United did well not to get beat by Barcelona at the Nou Camp, because Barcelona's last league home loss was on the last day of last season when they were beaten by Villarreal, and their only home defeats this season have come in the Champions League to Bayern Munich. Their only loss came at home to Bayern Munich. That's what I mean. One loss at home all season. That's absolutely crazy. And did come to Bayern Munich 3-0, where Mane, Choupo-Moting and Benjamin Pavard scored for the German Giants. But big games coming up for both sides. You've got the League Cup final at the weekend for Manchester United, and they've got to play West Ham on the 1st of March in the FA Cup. That's another trophy they're going after. Then they've got Liverpool and Anfield on the 5th of March, so big fixtures coming up for Manchester United. Then for Barcelona, they've got Almeria in their league at the weekend, and they've got Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey semi-final away from home. I think that's the first leg, so big game. And then they've got Valencia at home as well, so they want to try and keep their gap at the top to as much as they can. Obviously winning their last league game at the weekend 2-0 to Cadiz, with goals from Sergio Roberto and Robert Lewandowski. the second half will be getting underway very shortly. Where United are one behind, but that's it. One behind. They're not miles away. Attacking the Stretford end. Stretford. There we go. The Stretford end. Wow. Stretford end in the second half. Got there in the end. So we fancy it. They'll definitely fancy it. They've got a great record at home this season. Manchester United. They've only lost twice at home to Brighton in August and to Real Sociedad in September. So at home, in 21 games, they've won 17, drawn 2 and lost 2. So it's a bit of a fortress, isn't it, under Erik ten Hag, who's currently got a win rate of 71%. 27 wins in 38 games so far, scoring 73. Wout Weghorst substituted, didn't quite have the desired effect that he's had in previous games with his work rate and press. He just didn't quite click for the tall Dutchman, and he'll be replaced by Antony, the winger bought from Ajax for £86 million. He missed the last 3 in the league with an injury. He also missed the Barcelona game with injury, but he's back. He scored 5 goals this season in all competitions for Manchester United. And he returns. He's yet to score in the Europa League. It's his 12th appearance in the competition. He's played 6 for Ajax and now 6 for Manchester United, and he's yet to score. So I think it'll be Marcus Rashford down the middle for Manchester United in this second half. Could that be the change that is required to get the victory for Manchester United tonight? I think that will be the only change as Ten Hag makes his way back to his technical area. So one change from half-time. We've had Wout Weghorst off for Antony. Looks like Sancho's going to play on the left wing, Antony on the right wing, Rashford through the middle, and Bruno Fernandes in behind as the referee blows for the second half of this second leg. Barcelona kick off, kicking left to right. Manchester United right to left. 1-0 on the night, 3-2 in aggregate. Can we get a bit of a classic in the second half? Can we get some extra time? Can we even get penalties at the Theatre of Dreams? We'll have to wait and see. Koundé with a throw down the line. Goes beyond Lewandowski. Roberto will give chase as far as Varane hooks it forward. Helped on by Martinez. Only falls as far as Lewandowski. Loses out to Sancho. Then picked up by Busquets. Pokes it through to Kessie. Back to Lewandowski. Loses out to Sancho in the defensive area. Well played from Jadon Sancho. It's back now with David De Gea. Not being pressed by Barcelona here, so he's got time to pick out who he wants to pass the ball to as he clips it long, looking for Rashford. Headed on by Araujo. As far as Fernandes, who leaves it for Casemiro, and he'll head it back to Martinez, who's in the United half. Gets it to Luke Shaw on the left. Tackled by Rafinha. Ball back in the possession of Barcelona of Busquets, but he loses out to Rafinha. Can't quite find the Brazilian winger. Long throw in towards Fernandes. Header won by Busquets. That with Kessie. Loses out to Sancho on the left-hand side. Gets it inside to Fernandes. Ball to Fred. In the box. Right-footed strike! That's the start they were looking for. Fred, who assisted Rashford in the first leg, gets a goal of his own in the second. It's a rapid start for Erik ten Hag in this second half. He's not showing much emotion, but I'm sure he'll be delighted. Manchester United won, Barcelona won 3-3 on the night. Xavi furious. And it's an unlikely goal scoring Fred. But he comes up with the goal tonight. 5th goal in all competitions this season. Not dealt with by Barcelona. Kessie gave it away to Sancho on the left-hand side. Found Fernandes. Whipped it into Fred, who got a good touch on his right foot to get it in front of him. And just inside the 18-yard box, unnaturally strikes it with his weaker right foot. but it nestles into the back of the net. It beats ter Stegen in the Barcelona goal. And I said, will attacking the Stretford end have the desired effect that the United fans want? And oh boy, it has. Level on the night, level on aggregate. And we've only been playing under 3 minutes of the second half. United level. Fred, the goal scorer as well. What a rapid start to the second half. It's exactly what Manchester United needed. They were pretty lethargic in the first half, not quite creating the chances that we are used to seeing them make at home matches. But Fred gets it from Fernandes. I said, will he be able to make up for his mistake of giving the penalty away? Because he's just so good at attacking Bruno Fernandes. And he has made up for that penalty error by assisting Fred with the goal. What a start. This could be the spark that lights the fire in this playoff final, in this playoff game, as Anthony's been found in behind. What a ball. That is from Varane. Anthony in the box, tries to get it across towards Rashford. It goes all the way behind. I think they give a goal kick. It's an unbelievable ball from Varane in behind. Christensen caught flat-footed, and Anthony gets the touch. He looks to try and shoot. I can't see who's that come off last. Oh, comes off Anthony last. Should be a goal kick. Christensen got around his man and kicked it off of Anthony to win the goal kick, which he did win. And they try and clear it down the left-hand side here. Anthony battling with Balde. And the Brazilian wins it and wins a free kick. He's pulled down by the left back. Much better from Manchester United. This is what they needed. Get the fans on side. Get the fans excited. That's a free kick for the Reds on the right-hand side. Varane's going to go into the box. I'm going to send the big boys forward. They're taking it quickly towards Rashford in the box. He's been kept on side towards the byline. Tries to pull it back. Comes back to him. Chopping. Turning. Goes back to Fernandes. And the offside flag's gone up, I think, on Marcus Rashford. It's a late flag. It was given very late, but the flag's gone up in the end. Let's have a look. Free kick was taken quickly, and just I think his left knee was just offside, but a long time to flag there from the linesman. Very long time to flag it, but I think he was just offside from the quick free kick. 5 minutes into the second half. Manchester United 1, Barcelona 1. We have had 5 draws in this fixture. We've yet to have a 1-1. About 2 2-2 draws, 2 3-3 draws, and 1 0-0 draw. Yet to have a 1-1 draw. Obviously, there will be a winner in this game, but it can end 1-1. It could go to penalties. So there's been a fair few draws in the history of this fixture as Sergio Busquets lumps it forward for Barcelona. Header won by Martinez, on his far De Jong on halfway. Finds Frank Kessie. Now Koundé right back, getting forward. Gets the ball stuck under his feet, but he's tackled by Jadon Sancho and will win the throw for his side. Koundé gets the return from Roberto. Passes misplaced. Luke Shaw gets it. Now to Fred in the midfield. In the United half. Plays it forward to Casemiro. First time ball for Wan-Bissaka, who's just come inside. He's going to look for a ball towards Anthony on the right hand side. It will find the former Ajax man. Holding off pressure from Alejandro Balde at left back. He's now back in the United half with Fred as they just keep possession here. Erik ten Hag's men. Varane. To Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Down the line to Anthony. Back inside to Wan-Bissaka. Looks down the line for Fred. Deflects off a Barcelona man. And it will be a throw-in for United. Taken quickly. Back to Anthony towards the halfway line. And it's now with Rafael Varane, who did recently retire from international football. This is his first ever Europa League campaign. Obviously so used to winning Champions League titles. He's got 4 of them when he was at Real Madrid. 21 times he's previously played Barcelona. He scored twice, both in the 2012-2013 Copa America semi-final legs. Copa del Rey semi-final legs, as Rashford picks up on the missing pieces. It's a heavy touch, tackled by Christensen, but it's blocked by Rashford. Falls straight back to his feet towards the byline. Looks to get the cross in. That'll be a goal kick. Powerhoused his way through there, Rashford. Nothing was stopping him. Long ball forward again by United in behind, causing Christensen problems. He did win the ball that time, but it fell straight to Rashford, who got a heavy touch, and Christensen tackled him, but again just body straight back off Rashford, and he tried to take on Araujo, but he just fell off balance and kicked the ball behind for a goal kick. It's now Araujo bringing it out from the back. Oh, it's a misplaced ball. Straight to Casemiro. Works it wide right to Antony. Onto his left foot, finds Casemiro again on the edge of the box. Tries the shot, blocked by Busquets. Wasted chance. Antony really slowed the play down there, and it's now Barcelona who can try and get on the counter-attack. Rafinha chops past Fred. Ball forward to Roberto. Through the legs of Luke Shaw. Finds Kessie on the right wing position for Barcelona. Just holds it up and slows it down and brings Frenkie de Jong into play. On the halfway line now for Barcelona. Finds Andreas Christensen, the Danish international. Scored a goal of his own in the World Cup against France for Denmark. Works wide right to Rafinha, one-on-one with Luke Shaw. He's got the overlap of Koundé, goes inside himself and finds a ball to Sergio Roberto. Tries to look for the Brazilian, who slips as the ball's gone behind him, and it can be picked up by Bruno Fernandes. Ball forward to Rashford. Casemiro, first time ball outside the boot, looking for Sancho on the left. What a ball that is from the former Real Madrid man. Koundé's backing off Jadon Sancho, and he just shows too much of the ball to the Frenchman. And that'll be a throw-in for Manchester United deep into the Barcelona half. Taken quickly by Bruno Fernandes. He gets the return from Sancho. Now with Martinez. Shows too much of the ball to Lewandowski, but that will be a foul, says the referee. Just under 10 minutes in to this second half. Already had one goal through Fred. Yeah, just about a foul, I think, there from Lewandowski. Luke Shaw's over it. It's far out, so it'll have to be a wicked cross to cause real danger. Fernandes is over it as well. There's players on the edge of the box, ready to run into the box. As the ball goes in, it's headed won by Araujo. Falls to Antony on the edge. Fancies a strike himself. It's an easy catch in the end for ter Stegen, who kicks it out of his hands, trying to send Rafinha away, but it's a header won by Luke Shaw to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who will charge forward with it, the number 29, former Palace man. Just cuts back instead and goes to Casemiro, who just restarts the play with Lisandro Martinez at the back. "25 years of age, the former Ajax man is Varane. Looks to send Rashford in behind. I think that's definitely a instruction by Ten Hag at half-time. Get balls in behind this Barcelona defence, give something for Marcus Rashford to chase. Christensen brings out from the back, plays it forward to Roberto, who I think's had a good game in the midfield for Barcelona. And he gets the ball here from Balde as he makes a run down the left-hand side. Good play from Sergio Roberto. Lays it back off to the full-back. Balde, who gets beyond Rafa Varane, but only because he played the ball out of play. Just run out of room there on the left-hand side, the left-back. There he is, Sir Alex Ferguson. He's got bad memories against Barcelona. Like I said, those two Champions League finals that he was defeated in by Pep Guardiola's men. Clearance from United, header won by Christensen back into the United half, helped on by Kessie, Young as far as Varane. Now Busquets and heads it forward to Kessie, brings it down with De Jong. Can he release it to Kessie? Comes off Fred and then finds Balde. It's now Christensen. A really even tie this has been. It's been a great spectacle as a neutral. As Koundé heads it down the line towards Rafinha, won by Shaw. Martinez has it, back to Shaw, goes inside to Casemiro. Once more inside to Fernandes. Has to drop into his own half to receive the ball, the Portuguese international. That's just slowed down with Martinez. Long diagonal ball towards Sancho. He does win the header, but he was challenged by Rafinha and it goes out for a throw-in. Koundé with a throw. Towards Lewandowski, just misses the Polish international and picked up by Martinez. Looks to try and find Antony, cut out by Christensen. It's now Roberto. Sets away the left back, Alejandro Balde, who we know has got pace. An attacking threat. He's one-on-one with Wan-Bissaka. Goes a long way around the full back. Tries to chop back towards his right-hand side. Then back out onto his left. Gets a whipped cross in towards Lewandowski. Header won by Martinez. Still there to be won. Sancho knocked over on the edge of the box. Free kick not given. Koundé dispossessed by Fred. It's helped forward by Rashford into the path of Fred, who can bring it away now for Manchester United. Into the Barcelona half on the left-hand side. He keeps going here, Fred. He gets beyond 2 challenges from Barcelona. He sets away Rashford on the byline. Tries to get inside. Ball goes across. And he's dealt with by De Jong. Had to be cleared there. Anthony wasn't ready for it. Was cleared on as far as Fred on the far left. Gets it inside to Casemiro. Looks for the ball in the box towards Fred. Cut out by Koundé and very, very calmly dealt with by Busquets, who finds Kessie. Misplaced ball to Roberto. It's going to come straight back at Barcelona. With Casemiro, find it wide right to Anthony. He's going to get it onto that left foot. Play ball inside towards Wan-Bissaka on the edge. Just stopped to distract by Busquets. And De Jong can bring it out with a push. And the ball kicked right at him by Fernandes. Sergio Roberto isn't happy with that. And there's a first flashpoint in the game. It's all kicking off here. Barcelona players not happy with Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes been taken away by Rafinha there. So De Jong was bringing it away as Barcelona won the ball back and he was pushed to the ground. That was the free kick given. And then once the free kick had been given, Bruno Fernandes decided to kick the ball at De Jong purposefully as well. Let's get that clear. And I think he's going to be booked for it as well. Because you can't just kick a ball at someone because firstly it hurts. And secondly, there's no need. Because the referee had definitely blown his whistle. I think he's going to book 2 players there. I think he's going to book Bruno Fernandes for the kick. And he's going to also book, I think, Sergio Roberto, who kind of instigated the big kerfuffle there. Yeah, he just absolutely hammered the ball at De Jong. There's no need. It's a booking for me because it stops players doing it. Wan-Bissaka with the foul, and then he just launches the ball right at De Jong. And then I think Roberto or Araujo would have got booked there. They were the main ones who were really frustrated. I think it'd be one of them who would have been booked on the Barcelona half. I'm sure they'll give us confirmation soon. But I definitely agree with the yellow card there for Fernandes. There's no need to kick the ball at De Jong there because it's just not needed. And not to be like softer, and it's just not nice, is it? You just don't need to kick the ball at a player when he's down already. And they're not giving confirmation of the... Oh, they have Sergio Roberto, it was. Oh, what a switch to Balde. The left back crosses it into the box. It's too heavy. We'll go all the way across. And not kept in by Koundé. Throwing for Manchester United in their own half. But yeah, Sergio Roberto was the one who first reacted to Bruno Fernandes and pushed him to, have a go at him for what he did to De Jong, kicking the ball straight into his stomach. It's getting a bit feisty now. It's getting a bit tasty at Old Trafford. That's exactly what we need in this game. Half an hour to go. We still have the promise of extra time if it stays level as well. Rashford heads it inside as far as Busquets, who helps it on. Header won by Casemiro on Kessie. And it will drop to Fernandes on the halfway line. Sprays it to the right-hand side here to Anthony. 1-on-1 with Balde. He's got the run of Wan-Bissaka in support. He's just going to about keep it and find Fred behind him. And then once more behind Fred, it's Casemiro. Martinez looks for Shaw, who made a run into the box. Cut out by Rafinha. Still alive for Manchester United. Sancho goes for a header on Christensen. Loses out and Balde can clear. Wan-Bissaka heads it back forward for United, taken in his stride by Fernandes, but he's tackled by Balde. And it's been forced back to ter Stegen, who will clear with his right foot. And a nice settled pass out to Jules Koundé, who plays it forward to Kessie. Gets beyond Luke Shaw and feeds it through to Rafinha. He's 1-on-1 with Martinez in the final third here for Barcelona. Tries to find the return ball to Kessie towards the byline, but it was overhit. And the Ivorian was never getting there. Frank Kessie, who left the Ivory Coast in 2015 to join Atalanta in Italy, where he's had his successful years, winning a league title with AC Milan last season. Wan-Bissaka gets beyond Alejandro Balde and a ball forward to Varane, who's kept making his run, and he feeds it through to Anthony. There's a big gap there on the Barcelona left, and they've exploited it. Anthony in the box, left-footed strike blocked by De Jong, and it'll fall back to the left back of Barcelona as he'll look to try and get this away. He's got Wan-Bissaka in support, gets it to De Jong momentarily, but can't get it away from Varane, but there's a foul as Fred pulls down De Jong. Lightning a much better second half as well compared to the first half of Manchester United. much better chances. They've had 7 shots and 4 on target compared to Barcelona's 4 shots, 1 on target. Barcelona still having the better of possession, but United started to grow in the chances they're having. Koundé gets it forward, it deflects to Lewandowski, gets it into the path of Rafinha. United are open here, but Rafinha loses it to Martinez, but then he wins it back, then loses it to Fred, and Casemiro can bring it away. That's a big chance wasted from Rafinha, and Casemiro looks to send away Rashford in behind, too heavy, straight into the hands of ter Stegen. Scores around the ground. Stade Rennais have gone 1-0 up on the night against Shakhtar Donetsk, but trail 3-2 in aggregate. Union Berlin are winning 3-1 against Ajax. That was 0-0 after the first leg, so they've got a 3-1 lead to try and defend for the last 25 minutes. Alejandro Balde for Barcelona, the left back in the final third, has to play back to Rafinha. Now he's done with De Jong. He's got options forward ahead of him. He looks to launch a ball in the box, and the header's won, and it's a fantastic save from David De Gea. Great vision from Frenkie De Jong to put the ball in the box there, and Koundé had got the wrong side of Jadon Sancho and headed it towards the top right corner, and it's a great fingertip stop from David De Gea to keep it at 1-1. Like I say, Jadon Sancho, his job isn't to defend, really. That's not his expertise, and that's been shown there because he was caught really flat-footed. And Koundé headed towards goal and nearly scored for Barcelona. It would have been his first for the club. He's yet to score this season, the Frenchman. But they do have a corner from the resulting header in towards the near post, headed away by Bruno Fernandes. Now Kessie, out wide right to De Jong. He clips it into the box. Header won by Varane. As far as Kessie fancies a shot, and it's an easy catch and collect of a job for David De Gea. Great strike from Kessie, just along the ground though. If it could have generated a bit of height, it would have questioned, I think, De Gea more, but not as much as that, just questioned De Gea. That header from Jules Koundé. Good cross from De Jong as well. He would be good for United if they were to get him in. Martinez looks for Sancho on the left-hand side, cut out by Koundé, and the throw-in is given to Barcelona as it comes off Sancho last. Yet to see a Barcelona change, 25 minutes to go. But it looks like a double change for Manchester United. Diogo Dalot is going to come on at right back, I presume, and Garnacho is going to come on. Kessie's broke with the ball in the midfield. He's got Balde making a run from left back in the box, but he just can't find him. If that touch was right from Balde, he's in behind there and can get a shot away. Fortunate there from United. They've got to be careful. That Alejandro Balde is so good at getting forward for Barcelona. Big kick from De Gea for Anthony. Header won by Christensen on the halfway line. Is now Balde. Tackled by Fred, and he can seize the throw in there, Balde. Wonder who Garnacho is going to replace, because I think it's going to be Sancho, but don't let that deceive you. Sancho's had a good 65 minutes, to be honest. He's really starting to become a better player now since his return, Jadon Sancho, and he's shown that with goal returns, in fairness to him. Scored twice against Leicester so far this season, home and away, 1 in the last game. He has got 2 in his last 3. Scored against Leeds in the home 2-2 draw as well, Jadon Sancho. So here comes Diogo Dalot. He is going to replace Aaron Wan-Bissaka, straight swap there. I think they've just got to be careful in that right back area, to be honest. Manchester United with Balde getting forward. Because you've got to remember, Rafinha's playing on the right wing, and Roberto's kind of playing on the left wing, also dropping into midfield. So Roberto's not really staying in the left wing position. So that area is kind of like not occupied by anyone. There's a lot of space in there. So that's why the left back's getting forward to make up that space. And it is Jadon Sancho to be replaced by number 49, Alejandro Garnacho, making his 26th first team appearance of the season. He scored twice in the Premier League, 4 starts. He scored in the last group game against Real Sociedad as well, in the Europa League, born in Madrid. 18 years of age, Alejandro Gomez, born in 2004. David De Gea has it in the 18-yard box for Manchester United. Nearly said City there. 23 minutes to go. Pulse added on time. What a ball to Fernandes. Brings it down beautifully. 1-2 with Marcus Rashford. Not had quite the effect up front, but there's still time for him to have that effect. Anthony now on the right-hand side. Plays to the overlap of Dalot, who's just come on off the bench. Can't get beyond Balde. It's not cleared convincingly at all by De Jong. It's now Casemiro, recycles back to Martinez. Great diagonal ball wide right to Antony. One-on-one with Balde. Plays the ball inside to Fernandes. On the edge of the box. Dinks a cross in. Flicked away from Fred by Koundé. Falls on as far as Garnacho, the number 49 on the left-hand side. Plays it to Fred. On the left-hand side, can he find a cross? The goal scorer. He does find a cross, but it's into the hands of Andre ter Stegen. And that's well defended by Barcelona. The goal scorer, Fred, wants a bit more of the action. He also played all 180 minutes in the last time these two sides were put against each other in Europe in the 2018-2019 season. It's his 30th Europa League appearance as well, Fred, tonight. As Barcelona work this ball well to Lewandowski on the halfway line, dropped a bit deeper for the ball, looks to get a switch out to the left backhand, Alejandro Balde, and he gets there as well with his speed. It's a heavy touch, but he keeps it and he gets away momentarily from Dalot, but Dalot got a right foot around his body to kick the ball away. Good defending from the Portuguese international, and a throw in for Manchester United, won by Antony as he kicks it off, and that was Frankie de Jong. Eight signings as well brought in from Barcelona in the summer, and 5 of them start tonight. Koundé, Christensen, Kessie, Rafinha and Lewandowski. Only 3 signings from Erik ten Hag from the start of the season. Martinez, Casemiro and Weghorst, who came off at half-time for Antony. Another signing of Erik ten Hag. It does look like there's going to be a first change for Barcelona very soon. Ferran Torres, formerly of Manchester City, is going to be entering the field of play. 21 minutes to go. It's still 1-1 on the night. 3-3 on aggregate. A goal in the 18th minute from the spot from Lewandowski give Barcelona the lead, but that was cancelled out 2 minutes into the second half through Fred. As Casemiro clears out of play. Will it be time for the change? Now it will be. Ferran Torres to come on for Barcelona. He's going to replace number 20. Sergio Roberto. I think he's been world class, to be honest, in that midfield. I think he's been really good for them. But I think they're going to go for 3 in midfield now, because he has been helping a lot in that midfield, Roberto. But I don't think Ferran Torres will fancy doing as much defensive work as what Sergio Roberto has just done. So he's going to go on the left-hand side. Ferran Torres, he's got the 5 goals so far this season in all competitions. 2 of them in the league against Real Madrid and Athletic Bilbao, both coming in October. Scored 3 times for Manchester City last season before moving to Barcelona. And this is his 4th time playing Manchester United, but the previous 3 that he played against Manchester United all came for 3 different clubs. So he played against United in the Champions League group stages in the 2018-2019 season when he was at Valencia, and then he played against them in the Premier League against Manchester City in a 0-0 draw. I think it was during COVID, and then obviously played last week. Came off the bench, I'm pretty sure, last week. Yeah, he did. He came on late on and played for Barcelona. So, yeah, 3. Ooh, just catches the Casemiro ankle there, Lewandowski, as the ball was there to be won. Kind of slips over the ball, Lewandowski, and catches Casemiro late on the ankle. I would have hurt that. Don't think it was on purpose from Lewandowski, but it would have been a nasty one nonetheless for Casemiro. It's been a booking for Lewandowski. He was booked for it. Is that Bruno Fernandes having another word with the referee? Not really a surprise, is it? The man who gave away the penalty but then assisted the equaliser for Manchester United, as Casemiro is back on his feet. Looks like he will be able to continue, which is key for Manchester United because he's a big player for this side. They don't quite tick the same without Casemiro in that midfield. He did win 18 trophies at Real Madrid as well, including 3 league titles. His birthday as well, Casemiro. 31 years of age now, the Brazilian. Yeah, 31 today. Luke Shaw's been sent down the left-hand side. Keeps it in with a back heel. And it'll be kept alive by Bruno Fernandes. On the byline. Pulls it back. Garnacho with the shot. Blocked. Fred shoots. Blocked. Anthony shoots and it's in! The substitute has put United ahead with 17 and a half minutes to play. It's a really good goal from Manchester United. It was superbly kept in by Luke Shaw on this left-hand side. He backheeled it to Fernandes, who kept it under his spell, seeing off any pressure from Barcelona players. It was then Fred through to Garnacho, who had a shot blocked. Fred, shot blocked. Anthony, left foot, opened the body up into the far corner. Bottom left corner it went. Couldn't be saved by Ter Stegen. United have the lead. There's questions of a foul from Fernandes on Rafinha as he bullied him off the ball. I think it'd be soft to give that. Luke Shaw kept it in with a back heel. Fernandes saw off Rafinha. Fred it through to Garnacho, who had a shot blocked. Fred had a shot blocked. But Alejandro Balde couldn't close Anthony down quick enough. Left foot, curls it, bottom left corner. In Old Trafford, we have lift-off once more. As it's Manchester United 2, Barcelona 1, 4-3 on aggregate. And it looks like Manchester United could be on their way to the last 16. Fantastically placed finish from the Brazilian. And we're back underway. Anthony, who's missed the last 4 games with injury, returns with a goal. It's his 6th in all competitions for Manchester United. He hasn't scored in the Premier League since he scored 3 in his first 3. The goals have dried up a little bit for him, but that's one of big importance. First in the Europa League in his career. And a change is made from Barcelona where they've got to save this game in 15 minutes. Rafinha, the former Leeds man, comes off and he's replaced by Ansu Fati. Not been able to do as much this game, Rafinha. He's got a great record against United personally. He's not beat them, but he's got a lot of goals. He scored twice, one in the last leg. And he's also scored against them in the game last season. And he also got 3 assists against them. 2 in the 6-2 loss at this ground in 2020-2021. But could Barcelona be crashing out the Europa League? Now I've got the league to focus on, where they are running away with it currently in La Liga. But they definitely want to proceed to the last 16 of the Europa League. Luke Shaw with a header. With a throw-in. Fernandes right in the corner flag. He's tackled by Araujo. It'll be Luke Shaw to take another throw-in. Throws it into Rashford. Loses out to Araujo in the right back area. Brought down by Fernandes. Free kick for Barcelona. Well won from the Uruguayan centre-half, who joined Barcelona B team in August of 2018 and made the step up to the first team in October of 2020. Ronaldo Araujo. It's now Frankie de Jong on the ball. Araujo brings it forward towards the halfway line. Enters the United half, gets it to Koundé at right back. It's now Ferran Torres. Ball inside to Busquets. Now once more to De Jong as Barcelona need to score. Remember, they've not scored from open play in this game. Their one goal came from a penalty. Koundé caught late there by Garnacho as he released the ball there. Free kick for Barcelona. And it's going to be a booking for the youngster. For the Argentine. Yeah, just caught the ankle of Koundé. Bleached blonde hair now for Alejandro Garnacho. Revealed, I think, yesterday in training by, I think it was Anthony or someone, pulled his hat off, and then it revealed the new hairstyle and new hair colour he's gone for. Big chance this. Far right-hand side of the pitch, this free kick. But it's a chance to put it into the corridor of uncertainty, as people like to call it. Ferran Torres is over it with his right foot. Got just over 12 minutes plus added on time. Ball is in to the box. Header won by Varane. It'll fall to Balde, the left back. Goes far left to Busquets. Works the ball into the box. Martinez wins the header. Kept alive. Bit of head tennis there as it's finally away for United. Only as far as Balde takes over. And works it to the right back, Koundé. Ball forward. Intercepted by Garnacho. Kept in by Garnacho as well. This could be dangerous here. He plays the ball inside to Fred. Gets the 1-2 return. Garnacho speeding the way down the left. Gets a pull back towards Rashford. It's met by Busquets. And cleared away by Koundé. De Jong tackle by Fred. Going as far as Kessie, who gets it forward towards Fati. Wins the header, but only as far as Varane. Forward to Anthony in the Barcelona half. Inside to Casemiro. Gets it back forward to Anthony, who's making a forward run. Pokes it through to Rashford in the box on the right. Gets the shot away. Rattles the side netting. And there'll be a goal kick for Barcelona. Rashford's been a little bit more quiet than usual tonight. He has scored 6 in his last 5 Premier League games. And he scored his last 7 Premier League home games in a row. Casemiro comes away with it. Bullies Lewandowski off the ball. Game is starting to open up now as Barcelona search for an equaliser. Anthony in behind. I think Rashford's onside, but he's dealt with brilliantly by Ronaldo Araujo. Great defending. Rashford has stayed down, but they don't need to kick it out. And the ball goes forward to De Jong. Ball through to Ansu Fati, who slips, and it gives it to Varane. Martinez. Through to Varane. He kicks it out of play because Rashford stayed down. I wonder what happened there, because it definitely wasn't a foul. Araujo did brilliantly to win the ball. Just a shoulder. I'm not sure. I really don't know what's wrong with Marcus Rashford there. Probably just to slow the game down is a little bit of the reason why he's gone down. I'd just like to say as well, 2 scorers for Manchester United, both Brazilian and both only known by one name, Fred and Anthony. Fred, I'm not going to give Fred the assist, but his shot deflected to Anthony to give, the goal. So it's not an assist, but, it's just not an assist, is it? But try and give Fred some extra credit. Doesn't get enough of it. Yeah, Rashford stay behind, get some medical treatment here. This will be added on with just under 10 minutes to go. Marcos Alonso is going to come on. Scored the first goal of this tie in the 50th minute. Poor goalkeeping, I thought, from De Gea. I think he should have saved it. And then Fred also did lose Alonso, who was his man from the corner. It is going to be Araujo. Interesting. I thought he's been very good. Araujo in moments, obviously not great defensively because they've conceded 2 goals, but he's going to be replaced by Alonso. Alonso did play centre-back in the first leg, so he's used to playing centre-back for Barcelona. Has 3 goals against United in 16 appearances. Previous appearances, Marcos Alonso. And only 3 losses as well, which I think is a very positive record, I think. The ball is going to be kicked back to Manchester United with Dalot. Massive diagonal switch towards Garnacho. Loses out to Koundé. Halfway line to Ferran Torres. Lays it back to Andres Christensen. 8 minutes to go. Ball standing on time. And Barcelona need a goal from somewhere. Torres. Inside to Busquets. It's now Frankie de Jong's found himself on the left-hand side of the field. It's now Marcos Alonso. Great ball forward to Ansu Fati. Finds Lewandowski, tries to touch it back towards Fati. Intercepted by Casemiro, and it falls to Garnacho. Gets beyond Koundé. And Busquets as he's pulled down by his neck. And that'll be a yellow card for Sergio Busquets. He knows exactly what he's doing there. Garnacho has spun and rolled around 100 times, holding his face. Not sure the rolls are needed. Let's see if he caught him in the face there. He did so well to get beyond Koundé. Garnacho barely touched his face. Barely touched his face. Hit his chin. Just get on with it, do you know what I mean? Like, come on. The rolls are ridiculous. The rolls are ridiculous. He doesn't stop rolling. But he's won the free kick. He's got Sergio Busquets booked. The experienced holding midfielder. 34 years of age now. The most games he's ever played under one manager is Pep Guardiola, 191. And, you know, you can see he's a similar player to Pep Guardiola. Sergio Busquets in that holding midfield role, and it's the quick passing, tiki-taka. You know, it's exactly what you want from a holding midfielder, isn't it? Sergio Busquets. Yet to lose to Manchester United. He's played them 4 times, Busquets, and he's got 4 wins. Didn't feature in the first leg, so doesn't have that draw in his record. The Barcelona fans, they travel in their numbers, and it looks like they might be going home disappointed, despite having such a good season so far. You know, they always want to do well in Europe, Barcelona. Garnacho is still down. Getting some treatment. Hopefully he's okay to continue. Hopefully he hasn't lost his chin or anything. 84th minute, still 2-1. I think with the Rashford injury and the Garnacho injury, we might have 6 minutes added on, 5-6 minutes, I think, maybe. Could be a tense last, tense additional time. Garnacho's back on his feet. And he's okay to continue, and he can stay on the pitch because Busquets was yellow carded. Martinez looks for a running behind in the box from Anthony. Wins the header and flicks it wide right, looking for Dallo. Can't win the ball ahead of Fati, but then wins it back for United, but overruns it. Throw in for Barcelona, deep inside their own half. Balde with a throw. Header won by Dallo. Will fall to the path of Casemiro. Tries to nod it forward, but only as far as Frank Kessie, who gets it forward to Lewandowski. Beats Martinez to it. Pulls him down. Yellow card for Casemiro. Had to do it. Lewandowski were getting away there. Easy booking for the referee. He loves a card. He's waiting for the red. He wants a red card in this. Well, Lewandowski beat Martinez to it really well. Flicking it over his head, and then Casemiro had to bring him down like that. No wonder he's missed so many games through suspension. Casemiro, he loves a booking. He loves a booking. Busquets finds the ball to the right hand side to Torres. Great touch, brought down beautifully in the final third on the far right hand side for the number 11. And he drives inside. He drives inside across the box. He's tackled fairly by Fred. Only as far as Marcos Alonso sends it towards the far end of the box. But it's gone out of play. Frank Kessie can't keep it in. Poor that from Alonso. I know he's just come on, but you've got to be passing better than that. Still 2-0 to Roma on the night. They'll be going through ahead of Salzburg. Union Berlin still winning 3-1. They'll be knocking out Ajax of the Europa League. And Stade Rennais 1-1. 1-0 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. So that'll be going to extra time. As it stands, this will not be this game, but there could still be more twists in the tail. Luke Shaw, tackled fairly by Busquets. Throw in for United and a substitution for United. Scott McTominay is going to be coming on for Marcus Rashford. Remember, Rashford did go down about 5 minutes ago, but there could still be extra time. I think he is hobbling off a little bit. So hopefully that's not long term for Manchester United fans. Just hobbling off a little bit. Hopefully he'll be okay. He will not be partaking in extra time if it is to arise. McTominay's on. Headed on by McTominay as far as Christensen. Towards the corner flag on the Barcelona right. Kicks it off Fernandes. Throwing for Barcelona. Time's running out for Xavi's men. This would only be United's 4th ever victory against Barcelona. De Jong. Outside of the boot, ball in behind, looking for Ferran Torres. Varane gets there first, plays it back to De Gea, who clears first time. Towards the United left, where Garnacho loses out to Koundé. All as far as Luke Shaw, who clears it off Kessie. And that'll be a throw-in for Manchester United. Under 2 minutes to play, and then it'll be interesting to see what added on time we get as well. Throw it towards McTominay, wins another throw-in as he's tackled by Busquets. Throwing down the line to McTominay again. Battles with Christensen. He loses the battle with a Dane. And wins a goal kick. Well played from Christensen. I think McTominay's been shoved up front. To win throw-ins and long balls, I do think he's playing up front. Or at least in behind Fernandes, who's gone up front. I think Fernandes will lead the press as the striker, with McTominay just in behind him. They've really not made many significant chances. We had that Koundé header, which was a big chance, and that was at 1-1 in the game. That was a big chance. It's Fernandes in behind. McTominay in the box on the left. He's going to have to hold it up. He's been forced away from goal by Sergio Busquets. Gets it to Garnacho. Goes to Casemiro, who's joined the attack. Dispossessed by Ferran Torres and Frenkie de Jong, and Barcelona can bring it away with the Dutchman. He can't be stopped. Casemiro has to be careful, and it falls to Ferran Torres. The break's on here for Barcelona. Casemiro's chasing him down, but can't put a challenge in. Tries to feed it through to Lewandowski. It's good defending from Varane and Martinez. Together they stop the Barcelona attack, and it now falls to Antony, who tries to get it away, but he's tackled by Balde. 5 minutes have added on time at Old Trafford for Barcelona to get the equaliser, to send it to extra time. Koundé. Ball forward to Frenkie de Jong, unmarked. Not being picked up. Lifts it into Lewandowski, takes it on the turn. Feeds it to Koundé on the right. He's got forward in the right wing area. Header won by Fred in the 6-yard box. And it can't go to Fernandes. Oh, he's given a free kick. Lewandowski caught Fernandes, I think, by accident. And the referee's given a free kick. Well won from the captain. Taken quickly by Fernandes. Garnacho on the left-hand side. He's 1-on-1 with Christensen. He'll drive inside. Then on the outside, but Christensen's done well again. To Stegen on his 6-yard box. Risking it, but he kept it away from Garnacho. Playing out from the back now. Balde. Marcos Alonso. They've got 4 minutes to save their Europa League campaign. It'll be their 4th loss away from home in all competitions this season for Barcelona. Lewandowski holding up against Martinez, and he fouls him. Free kick for Barcelona in their own half. That's how deep Lewandowski dropped for the ball there, and Martinez followed him all the way. Taking it quickly, and it's going to cross to Marcos Alonso. We'll clip it out wide left to Balde, the left back who's getting forward now, like he has all game. Gets it through to Ansu Fati. Back it has to go to Alonso. 3.5 minutes to go. Barcelona are going to be patient. They're not going to force it. Christensen on halfway. Drives forward with the ball. Tries to find Kessie, cut out by Luke Shaw. Plays it back to Casemiro. First time ball forward, looking for Fernandes. He flicks it on. Not strong enough header. Goes out for a throw-in for Barcelona. Ten Hag wants more fight from his side. They've got the last 16 in their sights, alongside a League Cup final at the weekend. Marcos Alonso brings out from the back. Into the United half it goes, with Balde the left back. They just don't look like scoring, Barcelona, to be completely honest. They haven't all the second half, other than that one header they had through Jules Koundé. But here's De Jong, tries to look for Lewandowski, cut out by Manchester United. Only finds Busquets, who sprays it wide right, looking for Ferran Torres, and he will keep it in on the byline. He lifts it in. Oh, towards Ansu Fati, just over his head. What a chance, hooked away by Anthony. Oh, what a chance that was. Great ball, though. And it's gone the other way. Alonso went down looking for the free kick. But I think he went for a throw-in instead. Xavi's not happy. Great ball. It was well kept in from Ferran Torres as well. Killed it in perfectly. Just went over the head of Koundé. Lewandowski was trying to get on the end of it, but Ansu Fati met it instead. Yeah, I think that's a free kick for United, because Alonso went down thinking he was winning the free kick, so he picked up the ball with his hands, and then it wasn't given that way. But we're back underway. De Jong's got it. Lifts it towards Lewandowski. Now Kessie works it to the right-hand side to Ferran Torres. Feeds it through to Lewandowski. In the box! Shoots! Off the line from Varane! Think it's a goal kick. Kessie worked out to Ferran Torres. Lewandowski got in behind. On the turn, he shot towards goal. What covering that was from Varane. Oh, it's going in. It's going in, and Varane saves it off the line. And I think Lewandowski was onside from the original pass he got from De Jong. And I think a goal kick was given, because I think Martinez tried to head it out of play, and it came off Lewandowski, who was on the ground. Yes, it was a goal kick. A minute to go. I think that might be it. I think that was Barcelona's chance. What a clearance off the line it was as well from Varane. It's what he does. It's why he's so good. Diagonal ball. Straight to the foot of Anthony. Brings it down beautifully. 30 seconds to go. He goes towards the corner flag. Tries to poke it for a corner. Goal kick. Poor decision making. He could have kept hold of it for longer there, Anthony. They need to launch it forward. They need to launch it forward. Oh, ter Stegen's gone short. He's gone short to Christensen. He will drive it forward. Drive it forward he goes. He won't stop. He kicks it off Casemiro and sends away Fernandes to Garnacho. He keeps it in. Could they kill it with one more goal? Garnacho hooks inside for Fernandes as they lose it. But that won't matter. Erik ten Hag is building a fortress at Old Trafford. They win again at home this season. They've only lost twice all season at this place. They're so strong here, and they've shown it again today. They've shown it coming from behind as well. They proceed to the last 16 of the Europa League, knocking out Barcelona, who are top of La Liga. They went behind in the 18th minute after Bruno Fernandes gave away a penalty. Lewandowski supplied the goal. But then straight after half-time, 2 minutes into half-time, Fred scored for Manchester United for a Bruno Fernandes assist. And then with 17 minutes to go, substituted on at half-time, Anthony stroked it home with his left foot into the bottom left corner beyond ter Stegen. And after that, there was one big chance left for Barcelona. Lewandowski's shot. It was cleared off the line from Varane. And it stays Manchester United 2, Barcelona 1, 4-3 on aggregate, and Manchester United are through. The only other real chance that Barcelona had was in the 65th minute, where Koundé got beyond Jadon Sancho at the far post, headed it towards the top right corner, but it was superbly saved from De Gea. Other than that, and then the last minute chance there, Barcelona were really poor in that second half. They were not good enough on an attacking front, and they paid the price, because United were just clinical, and they were so much better in the second half. They brought off Weghorst, put Rashford up front, got balls in behind, asked questions of the Barcelona defence, and they didn't have the answers for them, and they've lost the game, Barcelona. 2-1, 4-3 in aggregate. Ten Hag will be delighted. And let's see who they get in the last 16. Let's see who they got. They probably just took out one of the hardest teams you can face. Superbly done from Ten Hag. What a manager, and he is seriously cooking up something special here at Old Trafford. That's his 39th game. 28 wins. 6 losses. He's got a League Cup final at the weekend. He could be bringing silverware back to the club as well. They're third in the league, right behind City in second place and not far away from Arsenal in first. For Barcelona, they have got the league title to look forward to. They are top of the league with 59 points, leading Real Madrid currently for the league title under the guidance of Xavi. But European glory will not be for them this season, unfortunately, for Barcelona. They do have an 8-point gap in the league, but in Europe it's all over. And Manchester United proceed. In other games, Roma proceed to the last 16 as well. They beat RB Salzburg on the night 2-0, going through 2-1 on aggregate. Union Berlin have knocked out Ajax 3-1 as well. To mean that Union Berlin, who are third place, currently joint first with Bayern Munich and Dortmund, they're through. And Shakhtar Donetsk lose away from home to Stade Rennais, and that will go to extra time. So Stade Rennais versus Shakhtar Donetsk has gone to extra time, 2-2 on aggregate after 180 minutes of football in that one. It's glorious scenes at Old Trafford. They celebrate a massive European night under the leadership of Erik ten Hag. They went behind. Some people might say it was a soft penalty, but they went behind for a penalty. They weren't great in the first half, Manchester United. They had one chance in the 3rd minute, and that was about it. But in the second half, they came out firing. They got an early goal, kept up the pressure, limited Barcelona to a few chances, and they were able to get that winning goal through new signing Antony, who joined in the summer from £86 million, and that's what £86 million gets you. A goal like that in big moments like this. What a night for Manchester United. And that is going to be the end of the commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know when the next one will be because busy times are ahead with A-level exams for me in college, so they'll be limited, but I hope to bring some more soon before the end. When I've done my A-level exams, I think a lot of the big games at the end of the season will still have to take place. So you got your playoff finals, Championship, League 1, 2, and National League. I'll look to do maybe a few of them. You could have the FA Cup final still left, maybe. So there should be some big games left for me to do when I come back, hopefully, fingers crossed. So make sure you subscribe and you like to make sure you know when the next commentary is. It's ended 2-1 here at Old Trafford on the night. 4-3 on aggregate. Manchester United go marching on to the last 16 of the Europa League as they defeat Barcelona through goals from Fred and Antony. But all of their attention now turns forward to Sunday, where they play Newcastle in the League Cup final. But for tonight, they've done their main job. They're through to the last 16. They've got silverware to play for at the weekend. It's all looking good under Ten Hag. Will their good fortune continue?